Hey guys, today I'm going to read you a book that I wrote. It's called The Planets, and it says Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. That's the planets, the eight planets by LTS, which is not my channel name. My channel name is Logan Thomas Sommerfeld. It was before my channel name before it was LTS, but now it isn't. So you see, I look a little older here, but like in my other videos, I was 6, and I'm still 6. I'm not 7, 8, 9, 10. I know I'm growing. I look older. I look older and I'm growing, okay? I just look older and I'm growing. First chapter, Does the Sun. One day, I was crazy because I was a talker. Because I had so many questions about the sun, and they were, number 1, does the sun have rings? Number 2, how high is the sun? Number 3, how big is the sun? And he will skip number 5. Why would a boy skip number 5? Of course. So there's only, No, number 4, does the sun have a brother or sister? Number 6, can I touch the sun? Number 7, can I drive to the sun? Number 8, is the sun hot? Number 9, can I look at the sun? Number 10, there's no number 10. Here we go. And that's all I did today. Ask questions about the sun. Next chapter. The next chapter is called The Job That's Hot. Mercury has a really hard job. A really super duper noodle poodle hot on fire job. It has to burn itself. Oh, I wouldn't like that job. Now that's a hard job. This is my favorite part. What? That's what Mercury's mom tells him. You'll probably laugh at that. You're probably going to laugh like 20,000 more seconds or something. The next chapter is called It's Hard to Be Hot. It's hard to be hot. Trust me. Venus is the hottest planet. It has poisonous, thick, and yellow clouds. Yeah, that's real. Right. Now that's a really holly jolly hot job. I'm not saying it's Christmas. I'm just saying that because I like that phrase. Again, I say, trust me. The next chapter is called It's Wonderful. I did not know that. We live on Earth. It's so crazy because we live on Earth. Earth is a planet. I say. We live on a planet. The next chapter is called The Red Planet. Mars is usually called the Red Planet. The Red Planet. Just for advice. And just so you know. Sorry, folks, that's probably all I'm going to say today. Next chapter, The Rings of Dust. Dun, dun, dun. Jupiter has 5 rings made out of dust. Some of you probably did not know that. The next chapter is called Jupiter Eating Saturn. Jupiter someday might eat Saturn one day. That was a short path. That was another short chapter. Okay, next chapter. What happened? Uranus has sideways rings. For some some little dumb reason, just storm. Now we're on the last chapter, but remember, Uranus is a planet, not your butt. Uranus is a planet, not your butt. It is in space, and your butt is not in space. Okay? Okay. Next chapter, just storms. Neptune always has storms. Just storms. The end. Good book, huh? I agree. Yeah. Good book. Well, let's read another book. And our next book is going to be about planets, too. Cool, right? Planets, planets, planets. Come on, let's go. Which one should we read next? Let's learn. Yeah, I agree. Let's learn. Where is the book? Oh, it's right at the bottom. No, that's not it. Yes, that's it. I got it. I got the book. I got the book. I got the book. I got the book. Okay? Don't worry. I got it. I got the book I was looking for. Okay, let's go on the couch, get all comfy, and go on your couch, and let's get all comfy and sit down and relax and read the book. Okay, got my blankie here. Let's start. Big Book of Stars and Planets. Our planet. We live on planet Earth. A huge round lump of rock floating in space. A layer of gases called the atmosphere gives us air to breathe and makes us sure that we don't get cold or too hot. Earth is a very wet planet. Huge seas and oceans cover almost 3/4 of the whole planet. These white swirls are called clouds. Rain falls from the clouds, which make plants grow. There are thousands of man-made things in space. Satellites are spacecrafts that fly around the Earth to gather and send information. The moon is a rocky ball that travels around the Earth. We can see the moon in our night sky. Weather satellites help to forecast the weather. Global Posting System GPS satellites create maps and send directions to our phones, computers, and vehicles. These light patches on the moon are mountain ranges on the moon's surface. Television satellites send television signals across the world. These are meteors. Tiny space rocks that burn up in the Earth's atmosphere. Over 7 billion people live on Earth. The lights from big cities can be seen in space. Cool, right? The Earth is one of our 8 planets that move around a star called the Sun. The Sun and its planets are known as the solar system. A planet's year is the time it takes to go once around the Sun. Earth's year is 365 days. Oh, that's a long time. Moons are rocky or ice lumps that travel around some planets. As well as moving around the Sun, planets spin too. A day is the time it takes for a planet to spin around once. Earth's day is just under 24 hours. The planets on this page are mostly made of gas. Not your butt gas, okay? This video is not about butts. Gas planets have rings of dust, rock, and ice circling them. Saturn's rings are especially wide and impressive. The planets are actually very different sizes. Here you can see how big they are compared. See? Dwarf planets are larger than asteroids but smaller than planets. Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system. Sometimes asteroids crash into each other, making them shoot off into space. If an asteroid smashes into a planet's surface, it makes a deep hole called a crater. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. Its surface is very, very hot. 4 times hotter than boiling water. Oh, that's so hot. These lines show the orbits of the planets, the paths they take around the sun. The sun is an extremely hot and bright ball of gas called the star. It's massive, over 1,000,000 times bigger than Earth. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. Can you believe that? Crazy, right? Ceres is a dwarf planet. And the closest dwarf planet to the sun. Not closer than Mercury, though. Earth is the only place where we know life exists. Scientists use a type of spacecraft called a probe to study things in the solar system. The Venus Express Orbiter probe was sent to find out more about Venus. Venus is not the closest planet to the sun, but it's the hottest. It's covered in thick poisonous clouds that trap the sun heat. Hey, like my book we read earlier. Mars has 2 moons, Deimos and Phobos. Mars is also known as the red planet because it's covered in red dust. Dust storms on Mars can last for months. Over 1,000 Earths would fit inside Jupiter. Jupiter has very fine rings of dust. Most asteroids move around the sun in a big band between Mars and Jupiter. It's called the asteroid belt. The Great Red Spot is a massive storm that's been raging on Jupiter for over 300 years. Can you believe that? I know, crazy. Jupiter's moons are big too. Let's read the names of them. Io, Castologus, Europa, and Ganymede. But there is 74 moons for Jupiter. That's crazy, right? They only showed 4 on there for some reason, though. Jupiter's moons are big, too. The biggest moon, Ganymede, is bigger than Mercury. Titan is Saturn's biggest moon. It's covered in thick orange clouds. Saturn's rings are made from millions of pieces of ice, rock, and dust. They're 3 million kilometers wide, 180,000 miles wide, but just 20 meters, 65 feet thick. Comets are lumps of ice, dust, and rock that melt and break up as they fly. Some have a bright tail streaming out behind them. Uranus spins as if it's been knocked on its side. This might be because a big asteroid crashed into the planet a long time ago. Neptune is an extremely stormy planet. Its winds are 10 times faster than a spinning tornado on Earth. That's crazy, right? Triton is Neptune's biggest moon. The Kuiper Belt is a band of icy rocks. 4 dwarf planets have been discovered here. Titania is Uranus's biggest moon. Triton is Neptune's biggest moon. Let's read every single dwarf planet. Don't worry, there's only 5 dwarf planets in the solar system. Ceres, of course you know that because you read it earlier. Pluto, Eris, Makemake, and Hamana. Oh, bless myself. Okay. And for last, let's read about the sun. The sun is a star, a massive ball of powerful exploding gases. It gives the planets all their light and heat. The surface of the sun bubbles and churns. It's called the chromosphere. And it's 60 times hotter than boiling water. Wow! Solar promoses are huge fiery loops of gas that shoot out into space. They can be 20 times bigger than Earth. Can you believe that? Like, look on this page. See over there? It only looks like that's so little. I can't. Oh yeah. Maybe they just made it small on this page because they didn't have enough room. Solar tornadoes are fast whirling funnels of gas. They're thousands of times bigger than tornadoes on Earth. Wow, crazy. The corona is a layer of hot gases that surrounds the sun. It's 5,000 times hotter than the surface below. The sun lets out a powerful stream of hot gases into space. This is called the solar wind. A fast riser is a small, straight jet of gas that flies out of the sun. Last page. We're going to read. Okay, we'll read a little bit more. Yeah, we'll read a little bit more. Superstars. There are billions and billions of stars in space. New stars explode into life from hot, swirling clouds of gas and dust called nebula. Nebula can create amazing shapes. This is the part of the Eagle Nebula. The dust and gas get very, very hot and eventually fuse together to become exploding balls of gas called stars. Points of light like this are bright young stars. This is the Orion Nebula. It's the closest nebula to Earth. Stars usually form into star clusters. There are different types of stars. Red dwarfs are the smallest and least powerful stars. Yellow dwarfs produce a steady amount of light and heat. Our sun is a yellow dwarf. Sometimes smaller stars circle bigger ones. These are called binary stars. Blue supergiants are of times hotter and brighter than the sun. I thought the sun was the brightest thing in the solar system and the hottest. A huge star, such as a blue supergiant, ends its life in a massive explosion called a supernova. This one is known as the crab supernova because it looks like a crab shell. The middle of the Milky Way looks very bright because there are lots of hot glowing stars here. Galaxies exist together in groups. The Milky Way's group is called the local group. It has 54 galaxies in our solar system, is the outer arms of the Milky Way. The closest galaxy to the Milky Way is the Andromeda Galaxy. The outer layers of the dying stars puff away in clouds of gas. This is the Cat's Eye Nebula around a dying star. The original star has turned into a small, heavy type of star called a white dwarf. Some galaxies are merging, which means they're slowly joining together to become one huge galaxy. These are actually two merging galaxies called the mice galaxies because they look a little like mice with long tails. We're part of the Milky Way galaxy with arms coming out of a bar-shaped middle. Our sun is just like one of its stars. Galaxies are enormous groups of billions of stars. Nebula, gas, and dust, they form spectacular shapes. These are actually two merging galaxies. No, I already read that. Elliptical galaxies are balls of old stars. This one is called Messier 60. It was the 60th galaxy discovered by Charles Messier, an 18th century astronomer. This is the Agreste galaxy, called the Cartwheel galaxy, which is made when two galaxies crashed into each other thousands of millions of years ago. Okay, and And now we can read some cool facts. Some cool more facts. In 2015, New Horizons became the first probe to reach the dwarf planet Pluto. It sent back the most detailed pictures ever seen of Pluto's surfaces and its moons. The Cassini probe flew to Saturn. It dropped a smaller probe, Huygens, onto Saturn's moon, Titan. Titan is covered in thick clouds. Huge Huygens floated down under Titan's clouds to find out more about it. And it says, storage launch vehicle soars away from Earth. The nose cone blows off and releases the Soyuz spacecraft. Cool fact. Let's read a little more. Roving around. The surface of Mars is cold, dusty, and dry, but scientists think that there is water there once and maybe even life there is sent to robots, that's weird, to find more about Mars. Rovers are vehicles that drive around Mars. They're controlled by scientists on Earth. This rover is called Opportunity. Solar panels turn the sun's energy into power. Opportunity landed on Mars in 2004. It drove to different rocks and examined them to find out wherever they were or covered by water or ice. Curiosity drills into rock, then scoops up leftover dust to test it for signs of water. This robot arm collected rock samples. Landers stay in one position to take pictures and do experiments. In 1976, the Viking 1 lander was the first spacecraft to land safely on Mars. Before the rover was gently lowered to the surface, Curiosity was packed inside a spacecraft. A parachute slowed down the craft before the rover was gently lowered to the surface. The latest rover is called Curiosity. It landed on a deep crater in Mars in August 2012. Thrusters slowed it down even more. A laser blasts rocks into a fine mist. The mist is tested to see what the rock is made from. A camera takes lots of pictures. The end, and I'm going to show you the pictures since I didn't show you the pictures. Okay, here's the first picture. Just the Earth. You read about the Earth earlier. There you go. 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 And there you go. The end. See you next time. Bye.